There's something deeply unsettling about abandoned hospitals. Not just the peeling paint, or the broken windows, or the smell of mold clinging to the walls like old regrets. No, it's something deeper. Something you can't see, but you feel. Like the walls remember the pain, and the silence itself is haunted. This story comes from a man named Jeremy. A quiet guy, late 30s. A freelance photographer who loved exploring forgotten places. He wasn't chasing ghosts. He didn't believe in them. He believed in stories, and the photos that could tell them. Until the day he visited Blackwood State Hospital. That's when everything changed. Blackwood was hidden, tucked behind miles of overgrown forest in Pennsylvania. It was a psychiatric hospital, shut down in 1983. Why? There were rumors of patient abuse, botched treatments, unexplained deaths. Even some of the staff refused to talk about it. But to Jeremy, it was a relic, an untouched canvas waiting to be captured. He arrived on a late October afternoon. The clouds above were heavy and unmoving, gray ceiling over the dying forest. The building stood like a forgotten king, its windows shattered, its brick skin cracked, yet somehow, still proud. He stepped inside, camera slung over his shoulder. The air was thick, damp, like walking into a grave. He could hear the faintest sound of water, dripping from somewhere deep inside. Every step crunched on glass and debris. Every corner felt like it was watching. He explored the first 2 floors easily. Empty patient rooms, abandoned beds, graffiti sprayed over medical charts. He found a room filled with wheelchairs. Dozens of them, all pointed at a blank wall, like they had once gathered to watch something. He took a few pictures, nervous laughter slipping out under his breath. "I've seen worse," he whispered. But then, he made his mistake. He climbed to the 3rd floor, the psychiatric wing. The temperature dropped almost instantly, like walking into a freezer. The hallway was choked with darkness. His flashlight barely cut through it. The doors were all closed, except one. At the end of the hall, a rusted sign above it read, "Hydrotherapy." He stepped inside. The room was silent. One massive metal tub sat in the center. He imagined it once filled with ice water, submerging screaming patients until they stopped resisting. He lifted his camera. Click. Flash. Then, he heard it. Splash. He turned. The tub was dry. Empty. He scanned the ceiling. No leaks. No broken pipes. Nothing. He laughed nervously. "You're scaring yourself," he muttered. He turned to leave, but paused. There was a mirror above the old sink. It was cracked, but intact. He took a photo, checked the preview. What he saw was not just his reflection. Behind him, in the photo, a figure, pale, long dark hair, eyes like holes burned into porcelain. He spun around. No one was there. His hands trembled as he backed into the hallway. That's when the lights above him flickered. For a second, just a second, he saw her, standing at the other end, where he had come from. She didn't move, didn't speak, just stared. Then, the lights went out again. And when they came back on, she was gone. He should have left then. Any sane person would have. But curiosity is stronger than fear. He climbed one more floor. 4th floor. Unmarked. No records. No signs. The door was cracked open, like it had been waiting. Inside, a long hallway, with rooms on either side. All doors closed, except one. A soft, yellow light glowed from inside. He stepped in. It was a children's ward. Tiny beds, faded wallpaper of stars and moons, stuffed toys, rotting away in the corners. And in the far corner, a woman, back turned, black hair tangled and hanging low. A hospital gown clung to her frame, stained, torn. She was rocking, slowly, back and forth, back and forth. Jeremy's voice cracked. "Hello." She stopped, but didn't turn. He raised his flashlight and stepped closer. Then she stood, slowly, her back still to him. When she turned, his scream caught in his throat. Her eyes were hollow, her mouth sewn shut. Thick black thread crisscrossed her lips, as if someone had forced silence upon her. She reached out, and as she stepped forward, her legs cracked like dry branches. Jerky, unnatural. Jeremy ran, no thought, just instinct, through the hallway, down the stairs. He tripped once, cut his arm, didn't care. He burst through the hospital's front doors, gasping for air. Outside, the world felt too quiet. Even the birds were gone. When he got to his car, he looked back once, and in the third-floor window, he saw her, watching. Still, Jeremy never returned. But weeks later, he reviewed the photos. Most were what he expected. Creepy, but explainable. Except one. In the hydrotherapy room, in the mirror, behind him, she was there. He hadn't imagined it. And ever since that day, she comes to him. In dreams, always silent, always watching, and sometimes, he swears he hears her whisper, just before waking. You shouldn't be here. If you're still listening, you made it through the night. But remember, some doors should never be opened, and some whispers follow you home. This has been Creepy Night. Subscribe for more true horror stories you'll wish you never heard. Until next time, sleep if you can.